What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. This episode is brought to you by BlueChew.com. Listen, guys, we like sex. Pretty much everybody likes sex. And if you love sex, you'll love BlueChew.com. BlueChew.com offers men a performance enhancement for the bedroom. At BlueChew.com, you get the first chewables with the same active ingredients, sildenafil or tadalafil, same ingredients in Viagra and Cialis. At BlueChew.com, affiliated physicians work with you to find the correct dosage and active ingredient that's going to work best for your life. Now listen, chewables in general work faster. I know this from weed. The chewables from BlueChew.com can be taken on a full or empty stomach. The online physician consult is free, so it's cheaper than the other two premium brand name drugs. It only takes a few minutes to connect with a BlueChew.com affiliated physician, and if you qualify, you get prescribed online quickly. No in-person doctor visit, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at a pharmacy. It ships directly to your door in discreet packaging. The chewables from BlueChew.com are made in the USA. BlueChew.com gives you confidence in bed every single time, and you and your partner will just love it. You chew it and you do it. Now here's the deal. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first order for free when you use promo code TIRE. That's BlueChew.com, promo code TIRE, and you get your first order for free. Just pay $5 in shipping. That's it at BlueChew.com. Guys, we're also brought to you by Private Internet Access. Here's something you might not know. The internet follows you around. Actually, you probably know that because you've been fed ads that are related to things you've been seeing on the internet for like years now, okay? But also maybe you've traveled somewhere in the world, right? And you try to like pull up Netflix or pull up some kind of streaming service and be like, this doesn't work here. Well, there's a reason for that. There's geo-fenced content all over the world, right? Private Internet Access is a virtual private network service. And what that does is makes the internet think you are somewhere else. All your internet goes through a secure VPN tunnel, your IP address is hidden, and your data is encrypted. You can use private internet access to swap your IP address for a new one and make it look like you're somewhere else in the world. You can watch all the geo-restricted content on streaming services that would otherwise be unavailable to you. Private internet access is available for all platforms. We have over 2,000 VPN servers in 45 plus countries. They've got a no-log policy in place. That means they don't track where you're going, they don't follow you, and they don't sell that data. You can use one subscription to private internet access to protect up to 10 devices at the same time. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee in place, and the details of this special deal, only with your link can you get complete digital privacy for less than $3 a month and 3 extra months for free. So go to privateinternetaccess.com/tire. That's privateinternetaccess.com/tire to get started. Again, that's privateinternetaccess.com/tire. And of course, we are brought to you by Crown & Caliber, the official watch sponsor of the Smoking Tire Podcast. The Crown & Caliber, listen guys, here's how the watch market works. It's really a lot like the car market. You don't want to take that initial depreciation hit. The thing is that watches are taken like a lot better care of than cars. There's a lot less that can go wrong. So basically what I'm saying is buy a used watch, save a ton of money. It's the same thing once you're wearing it on your wrist. Crown & Caliber has thousands of watches in stock. They have service technicians in stock to make sure these watches are running correctly. And they offer limited mechanical warranties. So if you buy a used watch or a vintage watch from them and it's not working properly once you get it, they can make it right. Crown & Caliber's taken really good care of me for years, guys. They have just They've sent me watches to review. They sponsored the Watch and Listen podcast. And then once I sold them the Watch and Listen podcast entirely, they're over here sponsoring the Smoking Tire podcast. So if you're going to look at used watches, start with the best. They're ethical, they're good people, and they've got a great selection. CrownandCaliber.com for all your luxury watch needs. On this episode of the podcast, my old friend Rob Ferretti, he has come to town to check out the grand opening of Westside Collector Car Storage, and we're going to be talking about a new show we're doing on YouTube called Sorted. It's really, really cool. It's me, Rob, and Amelia Hartford hosting a show with your modified cars. It's going to be really cool, and to get the details of that, you can go to sortedornot.com, and we talk about it in the show. It's Rob Ferretti on the Smoking Tire Podcast. L'chaim.
L'chaim, cheers.
Welcome, Ferretti, to the new studio.
Yeah, and the new Westside Collector Car Garage.
To the grand opening of Westside Collector Car Storage. God damn it, Zach. I did not airdrop the photos to you, but I can do it to that laptop, right? Not to the iPad.
You can do this to the laptop.
Yeah, let's do that. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Airdrop to Matt. Is it Matt's MacBook Pro still? Probably still is. Did that come up?
Not yet.
Uh-oh. I think I might have sent it. I think I might have accidentally sent it to my computer on the other side. Oh, the Smoking Tires MacBook Pro is where I wanted it to go. Is it coming now?
It's not yet. I got nothing.
It says converting. Hold on. Sorry. This is coming. Anyway, hi, Rob.
How are you? It's good stuff.
What time is it? 2:40. 2:40 p.m. and we're hitting the blue label. Bro, but it's 2:40 p.m. on a Friday. We're about to have our grand opening at WCCS. It says sent, Zach. Did you get it? Mm-hmm. Great. And, man, we got some heavy-hitting cars. The members have brought in some heavy-hitting cars. And then we've also got some friends who sent us some fun cars.
Yep.
And it is... Oh, do we not have that app on that yet? Oh.
No, we do. I just
okay.
do my thing.
Sorry. And, dude, so Bruce Meyer sent us his Fox body. My neighbor Mike sent us this beautiful 67 Maserati and this great Ferrari Daytona. Marco sent us some Porsches. A member just rolled in with his GNX and his C4 ZR1, and I'm like, oh, yes, you are going to be my friend. And 911R is down there, Ford GT. Man, Paul Walker's Skyline, Vinny's Caddy. I made the guys wash Vinny's Caddy. It hasn't looked that good in a long time. Yeah. Porsche sent me a Taycan to demonstrate our load level ramps, those yellow ramps that we're using. There's Paul's Skyline on the right. Sean from Top Rank brought that by. That's always a crowd pleaser, that one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just a great car.
You didn't want me to show you any pictures of the place before you got here. What did you think when you walked in the door?
I've seen, let's just say, 7 to 10 images throughout the process, but I couldn't wrap my head around it until I'm here. You don't get the scope.
Yeah.
Like, you can't take a photo of this place and realize, like I feel so small when I'm standing in there and you have the rack of cars. It's super impressive. Everything about this place it's like there's always like a corner that's like, oh, just don't look over there. And this place is done soup to nuts.
Yeah, there's no ugly corners here.
No ugly corners.
No. And you're doing construction right now.
Yeah.
How sick is like the conduit in the detail bay and the masonry work
and having
like,
the open ceiling so you can see all the wires and everything's got to be neat and run. It's cool. I'm quite impressed with this. We
put the Gunter Works right outside the window.
Yep.
Which is very fun. The 400Rs right out there. And I think we got a really nice variety of cars. We got the German police Beetle right next to the Fox body. And man, in like an hour and a half, people are going to start coming in and checking it out.
Yeah, well,
I've been
people
waiting
have
to show
already
this.
been coming in. Like it's like Field of Dreams. It's like if you build it, there's just guys pulling up and like, hi, would you get a 3-car storage thing?
That guy. Oh yeah, thanks, Zach. We completely forgot to turn off the fucking fluorescence. Good call. Now the mood is right. No, that guy. He came in the other day, but I did sell a 3-car private stack today, which is great.
And then you had the other guy who just pulled in. Who was he?
That guy just rolled up. Yeah, that was a random.
Yeah. There's no flags outside. There's no balloons.
There's no
spotlights.
Signs. No. You know what I do see when I'm standing out in the hallway out here? I see people in sporty cars kind of come down the road,
do the strafing run,
slowly make a nice U-turn, and there's usually someone else in the car. And as they make the U-turn, you see the hand across the dash pointing at the building.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
That's cool.
Yeah. I hope that doesn't become a problem. I think it'll be fine. We have good security here.
Yeah, good security. It's well locked down. I think the opportunity, and I guess this is going to be me, like, forcing my way into your business. I think you have a club here. I think there's got to be some sort of membership for people to just come and socialize. And,
Yeah.
And
Well, what's
like
interesting
the
is
cigar lounge.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I mean it's the cigar. Like the upstairs here, it's separated. It feels private. There's a cool view. You got the balcony for cigars. You've got the whiskey lockers. It's a nice place to come, just hang out, chill, watch an F1 race, and do stuff like that. I think that's an opportunity that I think a lot of people, and you guys can let him know in the comments if you would sign up
For a social membership.
For a social membership, just like because you like cars, it's a cool place to go and walk around.
I've gone so far down this privacy road that I think what'll have to happen is I'll have to take like a roll or a vote of the members and ask if I can change this privacy policy to allow social memberships.
Well, is it changing the privacy policy? Because nobody knows whose car it is. It's up on the list.
I know I've told people, and it's been part of our marketing, that we are not open to the public, and we will not.
But you're not.
We're not.
Like having 250 members.
I would consider that an asterisk.
Because
I would consider that a lie by omission, right,
No,
Zach?
but you know
Yeah, a little
every
bit.
single person that's coming into this building. That's like saying your friend comes over and it's.
It's true. I don't think it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that that there are people who gave me a lot of money to
Yeah.
keep their cars under a certain set of rules.
Sure.
And they signed paperwork that have those rules written on them.
But if these people, like if somebody walks in like, Matt, I love the smoking tire, and they want to just go walk around and see cars, that's not allowed. If
Correct.
somebody is a social member and they belong to your club, they're allowed access to up here.
Yeah. No,
That's
I
very
agree
different.
with you in principle. I just think I should run it by the people that I sold a specific thing to as a moral human. That's all.
No, I mean, I'm a customer, so to speak. Like if I had my car stored here and I was paying to store my cars, nobody's getting in the cars. Nobody's like. The lifts are off lift probably just because of like OSHA, that you can't have people walking in between.
No,
the lift.
you can't. Yeah.
So
that's
like,
why you see the yellow tape on the floor and stuff.
So you're gonna have the best the members are gonna be able to do is go into the open space and look in the air.
In principle, I agree with you. It's not about individuals going in and looking. It's more about taking pictures and social media.
Okay.
That's really what it's more about. And also, by the way, Rob, you might notice I don't really have a lot of parking here.
This is true.
So I couldn't, even if I had 250 members, I couldn't have more than 10 or 12 of them here at a time.
It's like a gym, though. Like you don't have.
That's true.
And you have the entire downstairs fits how many cars?
Well, hopefully there'll be storage
No,
cars.
but if they're not storage
40.
cars at the moment, 40.
Yeah.
And you got parking lot for 5. But what about the alley in the back? Is that?
You're not legally allowed to park cars
Okay.
there. Now, I've been parking construction vehicles back there for 5 years.
Yeah.
So will anyone say anything? I don't know. But
I was back there today, and a FedEx truck pulled up behind me, and I could feel him going, well, you better move because I'm too big. And I moved, and he drove by.
Is there any street parking or anything around here?
No, that's really one of the downsides of this. That's how I ended up on being the privacy guy.
Yeah.
Because the logistics and the
Didn't work.
I can't be the event guy. It's not going to happen. It just won't work.
How is there something like? And I know it's not like if you do have an event, if people are walking a quarter of a mile, or you have a
So across the street, across Centinela, there's a big office parking lot.
Okay.
Clinton, one of my guys, used to work there.
Okay.
And he knows the management there, and they're pretty cool.
Okay.
And it's one company owns the whole lot. And during COVID, it might be a different story because that lot's been pretty empty. But later, assuming things go back to normal, if we wanted to use that lot in the evening for events or something, we could if we really wanted to.
This would make a very cool event space
I know.
too. But
I've had
that's the other
offers
thing.
for a lot of money for
and
events.
that's my point. Like I think losing the ability to have the facility as an event space and possible social memberships, it really it hinders. And
so funny because yesterday I was telling Yuri and Jacob from the Straight Pipes that they weren't maximizing their fucking time and energy, and here Rob is telling me exactly the same thing.
I'm just like I look at everything as a business, and you want to get every spot filled up and keep that at whatever 95% occupancy that you can, because there's always going to be cars coming in and out.
Well, the question is, does privacy sell more spaces than a social club would?
No. Because a social club,
I think the social club would probably sell more spaces than the privacy would.
and you got to find out the right number of the social club. The social club you have to think of as a gym, because there's 2,000 members at my gym. Mm-hmm. I've never seen 2,000 people there in a day. Ever.
Yeah.
And there never will be.
Yeah.
And the social club is,
how many people? What's the most people we've ever seen there?
100.
Okay.
And that's like 2 floors, like. It's just and there's people that come and go. It's not like they come for 24 hours and they stay there. There's not rooms. A social membership is just having access when you go. You probably will never have more than. There's going to be days where nobody shows up.
Oh, I know.
So even
I
though
know.
there's 250 members, you'd be like, oh, you expect to see somebody every day.
No, I mean, I think that, yeah, I know this would make a great event space. Nate, our photographer, this morning was like, bro, you could rent this downstairs out with the halo lights as like a studio to everybody. And I'm glad that our design ethos is so great. So far, I feel like my opinion of it is, like, this would make a great social club, but I've pitched it as privacy, so maybe the next one is the social club, and I'm even more conscious of that when we build it. So we have a proper parking lot so we can have events. We have a proper, more outdoor space, and it's not so,
But it's the same thing now that somebody is here storing their cars with you.
Yes. Oh, boy.
Like,
My poster
I'm
just rolled
storing
across
my
the line.
car downstairs, and I take a photo of my car, and there's somebody else's car next to it and post it on Instagram. Did I violate the privacy clause?
Technically, yes. On the contract, yes, you did.
But I'm paying to store my car there. I can't.
The members signed the privacy agreement, too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the privacy or the I think the convenience is selling more so than the privacy.
I think there's a couple of people. It's a small percentage, but there's a couple of people that are really into the privacy.
But can't we
most people
block them
don't
off?
really care.
And when I say block them off, can we put them in a corner that is, this corner is not to be photographed? Like this corner over here.
I mean, it's possible right now for
Yeah.
this particular open house. We have those vehicles downstairs in the underground level, as opposed to being up here in the nice area. So yeah, we could.
Yeah, I mean,
You're not wrong, dude. I'm
there's
just
a way
saying
to
that
do it.
there's 25 or 30 people that have already signed contracts, and I would have to change all of their contracts.
Or do a feeler, 25. I mean, how many you fit? How many 100 cars here?
130.
130.
Yep.
So you have 25 people contracted. If 5 of them would like some sort of privacy, then you can arrange that.
That's true.
You can work around that, and anyone else that comes in, you're now expanding the business to something that I think would appeal to a lot of people. And you'll even have wait lists of people waiting to store their car.
We're
here
going to have that anyway.
because
We're
they
going to
come
have that
hang
anyway
out.
very soon. Yeah, no, I think you're probably right.
I don't think it takes away. I think it adds to the.
I think you're probably right, and I think I might lose a couple of people or inconvenience a couple of people that are really into the privacy, but I think the upside of having a social club probably outweighs it. Yeah.
And just having the one event a month.
What is the value? Yeah, what is the value of a social club? Like,
It's some people love having a place to go. They
Yeah, I
love
know.
saying that they're a member of something.
I know, that's true.
And that's why I think at $200 a month, that you pay that for your cell phone.
$200 a month.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot, isn't it?
No,
What does the motoring club cost? It's like $50 a month,
$50
something like that.
Which
a month.
one?
The motoring club. It's actually called
Classic Car Club. Well, they may have more members too.
The Motoring Club is around the corner, and they are a social club for
Yeah.
car people. I mean, that's literally the thing they do.
Yeah,
So-
I don't know. We're a little bit more exclusive here. I think.
Well, our facility is nicer
Yeah,
for sure.
but
they're
think-
coming tonight. They're nice guys.
I
The Motoring
think
Club guys.
having a $200 a month social membership that gets you access.
That would
to-
filter some people out, wouldn't it?
It does filter out, and it also you get one event for you and 2 guests or something like that every month.
Mm-hmm.
And whether you can do 2 events a month or something like that, we're talking like
Yeah,
private
whiskey tastings, the
but
cigar
but
stuff.
you've
and
got these brands
exclusive
coming in with
yeah.
exclusive stuff, like
Yeah,
chefs
yeah.
coming in.
No, I have a lot. I've got a lot of folks from different brands that want me to sell their shit
Yeah.
to my membership list. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Ironically, the parking would be the biggest challenge.
Ironically.
Yeah, at the parking.
Well, I mean,
facility.
look,
Yeah.
if you really did, if it really became a thing, you'd use a portion of the underground level as parking for the social club.
Because assume you may need 20 spots or something like that. Or
Mm-hmm.
the other thing is you got a WCC golf cart and you shuttle people
You know
back
what,
and forth to a
bro?
lot. Everybody likes that.
Somebody that I worked with on this project that gets things for their other parts of their business from China with great regularity was listening to the Jason Torchinsky show and was like, and we were talking about the Chang Li,
Okay.
which is that Chinese car that Jason Torchinsky bought on Alibaba.
Okay.
You could buy a car and it came in a fucking crate.
Yeah.
And the homie was like, we run crates back and forth from China like all the time. Like shipping on something like that would be $0. He was listening to the show and he goes, "You want to split one?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." I was like, "If you actually get one of these, that's it. It's
How much is it?
Like $1,200.
Oh. Like $3,331.27.
Yeah, but that's what he paid, including shipping.
Okay.
Shipping was 2/3 of it. But
I mean, it looks incredibly dangerous.
Yes, exactly, Rob.
You know what you need, because this is a you, not me. They just sold, or it just went up for sale, a World War II Jeep in a box.
Where you assemble it at home?
Just type in Jeep in a box,
and it's like a Lotus 7, but it's a
like
Willys Jeep.
They would airdrop them in the battle, and it
fuck
comes,
out of here!
Look, and it's still in the box. It was never opened. Like, that's an entire Jeep that you would just get and you assemble it.
There's someone selling these new?
Or it's new in the box. Like, never.
No way. But was that built for World War II and just never assembled?
Never assembled. That's not like
that wasn't built this year.
No.
Whoa.
That is like cool Americana stuff.
That's how they would drop them out of planes and stuff?
Drop them out of a plane. Like, they build them in the factory, drop it, and there's 20 parts to assemble in sight.
That's amazing.
Isn't that why the windshield folded originally, just so they could ship it? And now they want to keep it folding in Wranglers, even though nobody ever does it.
That makes sense. It does.
Well, I mean, have you ever gotten hit in the face with something while you drove?
What a great display piece that would be to have.
You should
have
get one.
A giant crate.
I want a little plaque next to that one when it's downstairs.
You know what I really want, actually, is one that's about this big. Like a little 18-inch... like a 1/18 scale Jeep in a box.
Yeah.
That's really what I want.
Would that
made of
fit
metal.
where the motorcycle is downstairs under the steps? A Jeep in a box?
Not a chance.
How big is a Jeep?
It's the size of a Jeep. It's the exterior dimensions of a
Yeah.
Jeep. The Jeep sits in it horizontally.
There you go. I mean, that's very cool, though.
It's very cool. How to remove vehicle from crate.
That's crazy,
Great
dude.
sign.
What does
How
one of
much
those
did that
cost?
sell?
Where do you find that? Can you
Yes.
find that on eBay?
There was
Can you
one
add
that
the
just came
search?
for sale, and I
It's
saw it.
really beautifully packaged. Why do the packaging people not ever talk about the Jeep in a crate? That's incredible.
So you could still buy a Jeep in a crate, sort of. Haggerty Media.
Sort of. Oh, Haggerty is where you would do that. Fuck! Look at that.
They run $3,000 for simple motor.
3 Gs?
3 Gs to almost $7,000 for the tub.
Tub, windshield, frame, and hood.
That is far cheaper than I was expecting, honestly.
Yeah, dude.
I was
Maybe we should just
expecting
get
like
one of them,
50 grand.
Zach. People need to stop selling me sending me examples of very overpriced Volkswagen Synchros from like Eastern Bloc countries. We talk about the Volkswagen Synchro. No. It's a Golf with the 4-wheel drive system. Like it's a factory Safari Golf. And Zach and I were mulling around getting one to fuck around with. We thought it'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
But they're really overpriced right now. Like 15 grand for one that's not a complete piece of shit.
The one we were looking at had rust and miles and went for like 10.5.
Yeah. And so after you talk about something like that, everybody goes on Craigslist or whatever they call that Craigslist in their country, and so it's like so many janky ass ones from like Poland and all these like really far Eastern Europe, and I was like this one's only 7,500 euros. Like, do you know what it costs to ship that to America, to California from Poland? I couldn't ship that to Seattle for fucking $2,500.
You know what? I shipped some cars to Europe, and it's actually the most expensive part of that. It costs about the same to get the car over there on a boat as it does to ship it from New York to Florida. It's if you're shipping it from California
to get it to New York.
You have to get it to New York,
and
then you got to ship it over. It's the ground transportation once it gets there that makes it more expensive than the actual ocean cargo. And then you have the carnet.
Have you ever flown a car?
No. Well, I have from when I purchased like Ferraris and stuff back in the day when we needed it.
Yeah. What is air
It's
freight?
like 8,500.
Oh, so it's double.
Which
it's double
isn't
the boat.
terrible because it's there in like a day and a half.
Yeah. Remember that Ludmilla chick?
Yeah.
Ludmilla was a woman who was she? She was in finance or something. She was sort of this middle-aged woman who had a Ferrari 575 that she named Alessandro.
Okay.
And she would ship it all over the world with her on vacations. That was her thing.
Wow.
She would take her Ferrari with her.
What a way
She's
to
not
live.
known for her taste.
Is she still around?
I don't know.
I haven't seen her in at least 10 years.
No,
I don't know.
She last I heard, she was dating a human being that I find laughable.
Okay, well, we don't need to discuss this.
You know who it is.
I could guess where this is
You
going,
know
but
exactly
we're not doing it on the air.
We're not doing it on air. But you and I both know who this human being is.
I want you to confirm later, but
Yes.
but either way, but she would say things like, Alessandro and I will be summering in Nice. We're like, me and she would talk about the car like it was a person,
Like a pool boy
Yeah.
or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe it was. Maybe the car was. Maybe there was a guy
fucking-
in
He
the
was in the
trunk.
trunk. I like it.
That's a good golf country. I like that one.
Yeah.
It's got that one's got the graphics on it that are like Scooby Doo.
Very Scooby Doo. I couldn't find a photo of Alessandro the car, but traveling with a 575 would be.
It's pretty G.
A pretty good way to live.
Yeah, it's pretty G.
Yeah.
If I was really rolling in it, I'd ship my shit around the world and drive it. It's cool. The Carnet thing's not that big of a deal, right?
It isn't. It requires money. So there's two things that get in the way of shipping cars. One is if you have a lease or a loan on it. Because now you need a letter of permission from the bank. Because otherwise, I'm going to ship my car to Europe.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, it's gone, and they can't really do anything. But then they start looking into if you live in the States, if you work in the States, if you've got real estate. If you've got roots here, if you got a job,
I have ties to the community, Your Honor.
yeah, you're not going to go anywhere. Versus a guy who just got approved on a loan and wants to ship his car to summer in Europe, that's not going to go as far.
Yeah.
So you've got that. Then the Carnet is because there's a VAT when you buy a vehicle in Europe that they charge you a value-added tax, which is substantial. It's like whatever 20%.
It's like 20%, 17%, something like that.
They don't want the workaround of people bringing cars in from other countries, so they essentially charge you like 25% of the value of the car and make you give them a check. Or
can you give them a bond?
Or it's a bail bond.
Yeah.
But the bail bond you don't get back. If you give them a check, just say like here's $20,000, you get that back when the car leaves. If you don't want to lay out the $20,000, you may go to a bail bond, it's effectively a Carnet bond.
Yeah. But it's the 10%. You don't get it back.
You pay $1,000, but you don't have to potentially lay out $20,000.
Bro, I've had to get multiple bonds to operate a parking facility. It's very dumb. It's very dumb. Yeah, it's shipping cars is a G move if you're swinging it.
You know what? We in Europe, it's I don't know why it's substantially cheaper to rent nice cars in Europe than it is in the United States.
Yeah,
and I can't explain why that is. I just think there's maybe less mileage sensitivity to secondary markets in Europe, where people don't care if the car's got 40,000 kilometers on it.
Oh, you think that's
where
it?
Over here, it's like, oh my God, the car's got 18,000 miles on it.
Oh, so you think it has to do with the secondary market?
I don't think it's got to be.
I mean, you're
because,
definitely right. The rental cars in Europe were significantly cheaper.
Yep.
And I think the delta is bigger the more expensive the car, because I did rent like a Volvo in Europe once, and that was pretty comparable to the U.S. But like the Ferraris and R8s and shit you rented were like, that was how cheap?
I think it's twofold. I think it's one, the insurance is probably not as ridiculous as it is in the U.S.
Because they're not as litigious?
Probably not as litigious, but also like there's only like one or two options in the U.S. and it's either like a grandfathered option for a company that's been operating forever, and that's substantially cheap, or there's the other option, which is like 10% of the value of the car every year. So a $300,000 car costs you $35,000 a year to insure. And at that point in time, you just can't rent it for $800 a day. But they also include the insurance on those cars. They'll sell you insurance for these cars in Europe. So
Which
you can rent a
you can't
Ferrari.
do.
Yeah, nobody will write that. I want to say they're more responsible in Europe, and I don't want to crap on us.
You think they just write off less cars?
I think they write off less cars. I think their overhead structure is different. I think the secondary market is more accepting to higher mileage cars, because they're more of a driving culture than we are over here.
I wonder if the driver. I know the driver training is always like heralded in Sweden and stuff, but I wonder if it's better driver training in enough of the countries in the EU that they're like the driving's safer.
In Germany and everything, I know the licensing is much more difficult. Yeah.
And they're in where there is speed limits, I think people are more like obedient over there too. There's less of like a show. I mean, they fucking debadge their shit there. In America, there's extraneous badges.
We put stickers on the side to be like AMG, bitch.
We buy their debadged AMG badges to put on our diesel, and they're like,
to
no,
add to the side of our diesel,
Right.
just so people can see it from all angles. I don't know.
Yeah, this is a good Blue Label.
Yeah,
the Blue Label is nice. Shout out to Park Plus for this bottle of Blue Label. This is all right.
And now
boys.
Park Plus, that's a great welcoming gift. They're the ones that did these lifts.
They made the lifts, right?
And these lifts are pretty awesome. Now these are one-off lifts, or these are custom, or these are
So every every installation of these lifts is tailored in some way to the facility, right? They're meant to be installed outdoors.
Okay.
So installing them indoors is one thing, because now there's a whole bunch of different fire stuff and clearance stuff and whatever. But then also they're over a basement, so that now we had to use these crazy. They're called embeds, and it's basically metal plates sunken into the concrete beneath the footings of this.
Support, like
and they're on rebar through the bottom of the concrete. So imagine a rebar and steel sandwich.
Yeah.
So that each of those has them. So our version of the lifts have double thickness steel, American steel, not Chinese.
Yep.
And they have to be welded by LA certified welders. So we have the QP1000H for heavy duty. And they're pretty freaking rad.
They are cool.
6,000 pounds a tray. And they're really neat. And I just like the way the light comes through them. It's like stained glass. It's like it's the cathedral room is because it's so vertical, and because the light like bends around the cars, and you get like rays and stuff and reflections. Like you can't take a bad picture. In
it's
that
always
room.
magic hour in there.
Yeah,
it's really crazy.
Yeah.
What are the? I didn't ask you before, but what are those like walkways?
So the catwalks, those are the fucking bane of my existence. So
how do you get there? Why are they there?
Good question. Yeah. I'll take the third part last, Bob.
Okay.
How do you get there? You don't.
Okay.
Those were something that the fire department plan checkers required I install at the third level of the lifts, and they are only for firefighter access. Technically, it's illegal for me to go on them.
How do they even get up there?
With their own ladders.
Okay.
I fucking eye roll. And I got completely hosed on it. So the problem is not that I had to the problem isn't that I had to buy the steel and pay to have those things made and installed. The problem is that the space those catwalks take up means that I can only have 18 lifts instead of 21. The building was designed for 21 lifts.
That's big.
And it's a big difference.
Yeah.
And so that sucked. And so when the final fire inspector came in and went, "Oh, wow, those catwalks?" We're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "My guys ain't going on those catwalks." And they're like, "They fucking fucked you at the plan check office." And you go, "Oh, God." But so, yeah, I have these catwalks that are there and that I didn't want and that I don't need, but that I had to put there. And that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
That's where that's one place where the city kind of hosed me. And these are they're just like systems, right? They're just systems of bureaucracy.
Yeah.
And I understand why a plan checker would say, "Yeah, if there's a fire, I want to have a catwalk." But the reality is they're breaking a window and they're going in from the outside with one of their ladders.
Yeah.
If there's a big fire in there, they're not going in there.
They're not even going in. They're going to there's too much combustible. They would just let the thing burn.
There's 3,000 gallons a minute of sprinkler water coming in there too. I mean, there's four nozzles on every one of those trays.
Yeah.
So we got a real serious fire sprinkler set
I like
up in here.
that. Those pipes outside were pretty badass.
Oh, the red standpipes in the back. The standpipe's cool. It's really exciting, man. Yesterday and today went very smoothly
quickly.
Yeah, it's cool. I can't believe my dad showed up.
That was
awesome.
cool.
That was the coolest.
Yeah, when was the last time you saw it?
I haven't seen my dad since December, so that was a nice treat. We had some steak dinner last night. It was very good.
Yep.
And he brought me a fucking case of Italian wine that was delightful.
That
and
was
a
very
box of Davidoffs. He came in rolling heavy.
He's making me look bad.
Yeah,
I just
dude.
came.
Yeah, people are bringing bottles. My cabinet, I'm gonna have to overflow cabinet.
Yeah. Well, you got a couple extra cabinets at the moment. Matt's Reserve.
What's happening? How did adventure drives go from your perspective? We talked about it from our perspective when we got back. What do you think?
I think it went great. The one part that was weird about it was and I'm sure you've walked in. We were supposed to go up through Canada and go to Banff, and then start in the U.S. and end in the U.S. Coming down through.
That photo worked out well.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
That was a good photo.
Yeah.
Pull that one up. The night photo. That one worked. Can you zoom in on it?
That was in Big Sky, and obviously Big Sky full of stars. That was a Rivers Rudloff photography shot. And that was good. I mean, you were there. We're like just pulled out blankets. We're lying on the ground looking up at the stars. It was like pitch black.
Oh, that's where that dirty blanket in the back of my car came
Probably,
from.
Yeah.
I found that the next day.
That's awesome, though.
A bunch of whistle pig wrapped up in the dirty
I was like,
blanket.
what the fuck is this?
But that was I remember that was a great time.
No, but like, you know, I can't imagine what it's like to organize a whole event and then be super confident about the fact that you're going to be able to go into Canada. You've got everything planned, and then like what, 2 weeks beforehand?
It was about 4 weeks that we got. So there was the stuff that you don't see. There was the border decided that we were making the call like a month in advance. Like, look, if the border is not guaranteed open by this date, we're just going to abort. And we reached out to the customers and we said, look, guys, would you rather go on a all U.S. trip, or would you rather us just push the dates and move the trip later in the year? And like 9 out of 10 people said, like, let's just do it. Like, I want to do something. So we were able to manage the route and change the route, and I'm really glad we did. Banff is spectacular. And
I'm kind of, that's the only thing, like, we had a lot of fun. Me and Hannah, we had a great time. Like, and we definitely had sympathy for, like, when things weren't like that's necessarily all the way to the high standard they were in Europe. It's like, yeah, well, the original plan might have been, but you know,
like
but what
Portland.
are you gonna, like, what do you know, what the fuck are you gonna do?
Can't
Sometimes,
do
but like, but I was just, the only thing I was truly bummed about was not actually getting to go to Banff, because I really wanted to go.
We had Icefields Parkway. We were going on a glacier with like one of those like glacier walks with the big wheel trucks like in Iceland. We were doing canoes on Lake Louise. And there was like a lot of cool stuff.
Would have been nice.
It would have been nice. The Fairmont in Banff was awesome. We were there for 2 nights. The only plus, or like the main plus, was that I love Whitefish. I love Glacier National Park. And we were able to do 2 nights in Whitefish, which was the original plan, to do 2 nights in Banff, 2 nights in Whitefish, but there just wasn't enough days to make that trip. So
the 2 nights was nice. It allowed us to do a lot of like hiking and stuff.
Hiking, some chill time, and
because you don't want, Glacier's so big, and because you couldn't drive all the way through it, you had to go out and back. So like if you were trying to do it on the way to something, it would have been like so frustrating. Much easier to just go in for the day and then like leave.
Even if the Canadian border was closed, the Indians closing that section of road of Glacier National Park would have screwed us up anyway, because we were coming in on
from
the
that
east side and coming in through St. Mary's. So the plan after we revised the route was to do the circle and come down, and like the lower road and then the going to the Sun Road it's such a spectacular loop. It's the best loop we have in the country.
The going to the Sun Road is the kind of road that when they would shut it down on Top Gear or something, and you go, this is the best road in the world. And then when you actually show up to drive it, it's the scenery, and yes, the road itself is amazing, but you're going 40 because you're
but you don't want to speed through it anyway, because you're going to miss all the gorgeous scenery and everything.
I don't want to speed, but what I don't want to do is be on the bumper of someone at exactly 26.
Yeah, no, I get it. I think
that was the only bummer about the Urus, was that for $270,000 it did not have radar cruise control.
Nice.
Where if you had radar cruise control, now you're basically on like the Jurassic Park tour.
Yeah.
You know?
The trail boss I just had would do radar cruise to like 30, which is handy in bullshit traffic.
It would only do radar cruise to 30?
That was the lowest.
You mean it would go down to 30.
Yeah.
I'm going to drink a little more of this Blue Label because it's here, and because once you have one, second
it's
and beyond
it's a real smooth drink.
Right. And I've already decided that this shirt needs to be changed so if I spill whiskey on it, it's all right. I can still be a professional.
So
I have to pull up the security cameras on the side here, so because right now, until Eric gets back from lunch, I'm doing 2 jobs. Sorry, what?
So the other stuff that I would say, like, there was some great stuff, like the driving from like Bend to Spokane. That road going through there was awesome. We didn't have a racetrack in Canada. We added the racetrack in the U.S., which people really liked.
That Spokane racetrack,
so much fun.
It reminded me a lot of PBIR, but with a little more elevation, and it had a 0G, where it was very, very fun.
Yeah.
Really nice little racetrack. I really enjoyed that.
Like, that's like if I owned a piece of property somewhere in the middle of nowhere, I'd build something like that.
Yeah.
It's just like a fun little, like, plenty of runoff. It's got some good speed to it, and just ripping onto that front straight, like, which is mixed with the drag strip.
It's got a big S right when you're shifting into like fifth.
Yeah.
There's a big
Yep.
S in it that you take flat. It's pretty cool.
And then you can push right to the end of the wall on the drag strip, and it sounds awesome. If you got a car with a great exhaust, that thing rips through there.
Manny's Aventador was sounding quite excellent down
And
there.
that
Did you do any of the 360 on the track, or did you bring
I
it up?
did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How does that thing hold up to light track
so
work?
good. It's fine. The temperatures were good. Everything was good. Just shifting gears sucks in that car. It doesn't have that. I feel like I'm like not doing it a favor by shifting on the track and really hammering at it. But otherwise, it's great. Like that car's done so many road trips and done so much. But it performs better when you grab a gear and you cycle through.
Yeah.
But without like aggressively shifting at redline.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah, good street car. It's not
It's
really, not
a good,
really
it's a good
track
cruise.
car.
It's almost like a good GT car. It's sporty. It handles well, but it's a great road trip car. I've done like 4 or 5 road trips with it since I bought it. I've done like 9,000 miles on that thing in 2 years.
I feel like the next adventure drives, I got to bring my own car.
Yeah, that Aston would have been nice.
You know, my Aston, except the problem is I have to take my shoes off to drive it because the pedal box is really small because there's 3 pedals where there used to be 2. And that's just not practical.
What about like a loafer, like a racing shoe?
It doesn't really work, unfortunately. I really have to do it barefoot.
Get some toe shoes.
Yeah,
Those weird things.
the running shoes. Yeah, with just the toes.
How often did you get in and out of the car?
Enough. Yeah.
All right, then you don't want to do
I mean,
no
we
shoes.
had a bunch of like hikes, and there's stuff that you're not. I just watched, and I actually really love this movie from when I was younger, which was Gumball 3000, the Mischief one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And like I watch it with a whole different lens now because I was like, wow, this is so cool. All the cops and everybody's having such a great time. And then I looked at what they ended up doing. So Gumball is not cheap by any stretch. You got guys driving F50s and everything. Their first leg was New York to Nashville, which was like 900 miles. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then you're watching, I'm like, and they threw a checkpoint in D.C., so you're not even going direct to Nashville.
Ugh.
So like
1,200 miles or something.
Yeah, it's just like, it's an absurd.
It's like
you're driving
misery.
1,000 miles of driving. The adventure drive is like 1,500 miles for the week.
No, it was 2,400.
Well, you came all the way back.
No, it was 3,500 because I came all the way back.
No, we didn't. I know we didn't do 2,400. Maybe it was 2,000.
Absolutely did. I was
I'm
watching
telling you.
every mile.
I'm going to tell you.
I had to write an email saying, I am sorry. Oh, shit, my wife's calling me. Well,
you take that.
We're not live,
you can,
so I got to
mute
take
him.
this one.
Yeah. That's
It's
I like
nice.
That. So there may be a little
My wife
continuity
and my
issue.
father are back, but in separate cars.
Yes.
Do I have to worry?
There may be a little continuity issue. We now have ice cubes.
Check continuity.
Yeah.
Note.
Yeah.
Maybe if my pops comes up here, maybe we'll get him on mic.
There you go.
Oh, it finally happens.
People have been asking to do a show with my dad.
Finally.
Where we talk about we're gonna do a business show.
Nice.
But I think people wanted to ask questions, right?
Yeah, we should. Yeah, we should wait. Well, I mean,
What question?
He's here.
What do you think? What is keeping us, Zach, if anything, from doing live shows again? Anything at this point?
no, I wanted to get the SwitcherCast audio sorted, which I think we just got repaired today with thanks to Switcher Tech Support.
Yeah, it turns
and then we
out
can do
Switcher
live
Tech
support.
Support's kind of good, right?
I mean, they don't really have it, but the guy was like, I'll get on the phone with you guys. Like, he helped us out. So shout out to Jared at SwitcherCast. And yeah, we should do a test show, which I already did once. I just want to do it again.
Okay.
But it was fine.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Then maybe we should do the business Q&A show with my dad.
Yeah.
Eric
And-
was downstairs talking to him before for like a half hour. Eric was like, who the fuck is he? I was
He's
like,
very smart.
He's got it. He's got it figured out.
There's something though about like the idiotic questions that are gonna come that it just like
The super chat filters some of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The idiots don't want to spend.
Yeah, but
$5.
what if a guy spends $20 to ask an idiot question like
I'll take their $20.
yeah, but then you want your dad to waste his time like well,
no, I don't.
you and I are like conditioned to it. Like we know how to deal with like
True.
the idiocy, but your dad's gonna be like, okay, well that's a very broad question, but I'll try to narrow it down. Like how do
Definitely.
I become wealthy?
100%.
Like come on, guy.
No, you're right. In fact, what was really funny, we were going to get smoothies earlier today, and he's like, man, I'm really watching you work, and he's like, He's like, you're telling the guys what to do over there, and then you're like on your phone, like selling a spot, and then you're talking to Zach about doing a podcast, and then you're editing video at your house. He's like, how do you keep all this straight? He's like, I have an assistant who intakes everything and then divides it between right now, later today, and like wait till you have
And
time.
I'll do it for you.
Yeah, and I'm like, I would kill for fucking that.
I
I
had one, and like I don't know why. Probably because I'm building my house. I think I'll get another executive assistant at some point. I had Kimber, who was phenomenal, and like the value of having like a Pepper Potts in your life is I can't even tell you. Like I almost went from having no time to like being like, what do I do with all this extra time I have now? Do you want to go? Do you want to go? I can handle
I don't want to
this.
be there. With that, my dad and my wife's brother, John Stein of Kirai Designs, who they made this.
Oh,
they
cool.
made all of this acoustic paneling.
This is actually sound deadening material, correct?
Yeah. It's made of recycled plastic bottles.
Okay.
It's called Kirai. They're out of San Diego, and they have like a million different textures and patterns and colors.
Yep.
They have ones that hang from the ceiling, and ones that go on the wall, and ones that are freestanding. They're awesome.
I think you make me want a podcast room, and
isn't it nice
it's
in here?
awesome. Like I love it, and the closest I'll have is like my wine cellar / drinking room.
That's a good one though.
And
you could do a
like talking around the barrel or something like that. We could definitely.
Good name for a show.
Yeah.
Talking around the barrel. That's a good name for the show. Yeah. I like that.
I just.
You
comes
got
to
them.
me.
Yeah, I like those. Look at those the wavy ones. Those are fun.
Oh, those are cool.
Yeah, they've got a whole bunch of different ones. The topo tiles, that's what we have. Those are fun. The Mura tiles, those are cool. They're not fucking cheap though.
Yeah, the
we had to go into the coffers for these.
Yeah.
But they do the laser cutting though, and they look great.
I do like that.
Yeah, they'll make anything you want.
Yeah.
They'll make you a fucking big Super Speeders logo. It's super cool.
I don't know. It'd be a new podcast. It wouldn't be the super speed. It'd be like one drink or two. And if it's going well, it's two drinks. If not, we're just one drink.
One
and get the
drink
hell
or
out of here.
two is also a pretty good name. Talking around the barrel though, I like. That's a good name. Yeah, that works. That works.
I need a barrel now. Like, hey, step one, get a barrel.
Yeah. Well, look, man, I don't want to cut this show short, but like we're about 30 minutes away from my open house starting, and caterers are going to start showing up, and people are going to start showing up, and I want to make sure my staff is doing the things that they need to be doing, and so we're gonna cut this one short. I don't know how short it is. It's probably kind of short.
It's 45. Yeah.
Sorry it's so short, guys, but I've been distracted the past week, and hopefully as the business settles into a fucking rhythm, we'll be able to get back to a regular podcasting
and
schedule.
Before we go, we're taking 3 minutes to talk about our new venture.
Oh, fuck. We can take more than that. No, we can take more than that. It looks like, the guys just came off break. So, all right, I have a few minutes. Yeah, I didn't know how much you wanted to talk about it.
No, let's do it. I mean, it's a green light. So,
fuck it, let's do it. Go.
So Matt and I are like l'chaim to that, brother. It's
l'chaim.
We've got a show hitting the YouTube circuits.
Sold it.
And this show is called Sorted. And this
is a good concept. Rob came up with a really fun concept. So
this concept merges just a conversation I had with Matt and the Project Car challenges that I was doing, where the two images that come into my head are my car on fire and Rob Dom pushing his car down the pit lane. So like that's like, oh, this is like sort of cool. And it's not that either of us just built it that morning. Like this is like, all right, this is good. We can take this. And it's just what happens when you completely modify a car. So
yeah, I think and we combined that with when I was doing one takes. People would tell me their modified car was fully sorted, and what that would mean a lot of the time was that they don't. It worked kinda.
It ran.
And yeah, it worked ish, and they didn't. Their body was programmed to drive around the problems.
Yeah.
But what would happen if you just had to take the keys and hand them to me and to a professional racing driver? Would it still be sorted? No instructions. No, you got to do the
when
the
this
thing.
You jiggle this.
Yeah. No, you got to hand over the keys and then we drive. That's when it's sorted when a stranger can drive it. So that's the...
So many cars would have failed that test.
Well, our goal is to find essentially the fastest, most badass modified cars in the country And to do that, we're going to have to shake them down, and I expect some fireworks, some smoke, some I don't know. I'm expecting some failures, but I think what will result or what will make it through the gauntlet will be some pretty impressive machinery.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. Yeah. So what are we? How are we auditioning cars? I forget.
So we're going to have a website. We're just wrapping it up now. It's probably, when does this go live?
Tuesday.
Next week, Tuesday.
So the website's live. It's going to be sortedornot.com. And
lower third.
sortedornot.com. And you go there, you can submit your car. It's going to be myself, Matt, and Amelia Hartford are going to be.
I love Amelia. She's great. She's fun.
She's terrific.
Yeah.
We're going to be. Amelia, we went to. I always remember we did the trip to Europe and we went to Oktoberfest. And there's always that one person in the group that goes to Oktoberfest that like wasn't ready for Oktoberfest yet, and she was that person. So that was funny. But we had a great time there. But
she's about the size of a beer stein.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Somebody just went by like a crazy tuner car. I wonder if they were looking for this. Huh?
Yeah. Between the three of us, we're going to select pretty much 8 cars from the East Coast and 8 cars from the West Coast. And we're going to shake them down. We're going to see what holds up best on each trial. This is going to be sponsored by Auto Tempest. We're sourcing cars through Auto Tempest to have as like a benchmark car, because it's like racing Miatas. It's not very exciting if they're still Miatas. So here we're going to take cool cars, and whether it's, and we got to look what's out there, whether it's like an MC12 or a R8.
If you find an MC12, that would be amazing.
That would be awesome.
Someone going to bring an MC12? I bet you it's sorted.
Yeah. No, that's why it's going to be the benchmark car.
Oh, we're benchmarking an MC12? Okay.
Yeah, no, the benchmark car is going to allow people to gauge how fast these cars are versus a car that's a known quantity.
Right.
So we'll take
MC12 for sure. Let's get that.
Yeah. If we can push the production out long enough, we'll run the 2 winning cars, the East Coast and the West Coast car, at COTA on November 21st.
Oh, yeah.
Which we're going to be at a private track day.
Nice.
And if not, then we'll pick another track.
The original plan was Nürburgring, but that's a who the fuck knows at this point.
Well, you know what? And I'm thinking now a little further out, like seasons 2, 3. And if we start doing different regions, and then we do like a thing where we combine all the winners of the different regions and then take that car, like this is the best car America's got, and then we ship it over to the Nürburgring, and I'm like thinking
this
like
is the best car America's got.
I'm thinking like 6.5 minute Nürburgring lap if we can make something like that happen. Some
crazy time attack, like the fastest Subaru ever.
Yeah, but I mean, if it makes it through our challenges, and we're not talking like what's that show? What's that?
It's like a pit smoker being backed into the driveway.
We're not talking like crazy challenges like that show where they had like the ramps and
Hyperdrive. I loved Hyperdrive. It was fun.
No, we're going to be. It's going to be the same sort of format as the Project Car Challenge, where we're going to street drive it just to like make sure nobody's going to die actually pushing the cars.
Yeah.
Then we're going to do a acceleration test for each of the cars to see how fast they are. See which
quarter mile.
No, ideally it'll be longer than a quarter mile. It'll depend on the specific track we're at or what our opportunity is. Yeah. A half mile would be ideal.
It's going to be like road course straight, basically.
Road course, but like some of the road course straights are substantially long. Mm-hmm. Why stop at a quarter mile? But like figure like a 60 to 150 is not out of the question. And that'll easily shake out what's fast or what's not. And then we're going to do a time attack lap, and a time attack lap will just see which cars are just fast. Like my Corvette is a perfect example of a car that is just fast. Right. It just doesn't last for 3 hours.
It's fast for one good lap.
And the reason we have to shake all these cars out is if we do go to the Nürburgring is not a 2-minute lap.
Yeah.
Nürburgring, like you don't want to like make it 3/4 of the way through the track and start overheating because your car is not sorted.
God, it would cost you so much money
just to go do that. Yeah. So the goal is then after that we're going to hand the keys over to the pro, and this way we have the same driver in each car. I mean, we can do that straight line stuff. We can have fun with it. Bring in the pro guy for the one lap, and the good thing about the time attack lap is it'll allow him to get familiar with the cars. And then he can go at it for like the fastest 10 laps in 20 minutes or something like that, whatever the track dictates.
Yeah.
And we'll see which cars not only are fast, but can stay together for the longest time.
It's going to be fun.
And it'll be fun.
I think it's going to be rowdy. It's going to be a good time.
It's not cheap to modify a car to this extent.
Well, and
So-
to have it be fast and work properly,
But
when
you have
it's
to
stressed,
change everything
Yeah.
because when you change when you add 2,000 horsepower to a transmission that's designed for 400, it's going to break. When you add all this horsepower, but the brakes were not designed to hit the entry turn at 170, it's normally coming in at 130. They don't cool off as quick. I mean, there's a lot of failure points that once you cross a certain threshold, everything has to be changed. Like you just have a frame that looks like the former car, but everything has to be changed.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's going to be rad.
It's
So
gonna be
go
good.
to sortedornot.com.
Yep.
And enter to be
yeah,
part
enter
of
your
it.
car. We're going to you'll be invited to the filming and everything like that, but you will not be you'll be interviewed outside of us. So we're not going to hear your comments or what we have to do or what we have to worry about. So you make sure that when we turn that key, that thing fires up, and it's not like shake the wire under the dash and then jiggle this and then push the button, because then you're going to not look so great on camera.
Yeah,
So.
it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
But I'm
Can't
looking
wait.
forward to it. Like, this is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, sortedornot.com. Go to it. Check it out. And, of course, if you're in L.A., Westside Collector Car Storage is the spot.
Yeah.
Get at it, folks. That's our
Sign
show.
up for your membership.
Social Club coming soon. That's our show. The Smoking Tire Podcast is powered by Shout Engine. Get your own damn podcast at shoutengine.com. It's easy. All you need is a microphone, a connection to the internet, and ideally something to say. I'm going to go greet some people, eat some barbecue, try to pretend like I haven't had 3 shots of Blue Label while we did the show.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I guess what's the point? I think it might be a celebration
Yeah, it's a
now.
celebratory
At this
weekend.
time, the boat is built and it's floating. You know?
Yeah, that's
so
a good point.
yeah.
And
That's
you
a
got
good
a
point.
captain, so you're good.
Yeah. All right, everybody. That's our show for tonight. Thank you for supporting us. We'll see you later. Bye.
Take it.